Hello, Gophers. You're listening to Go Podcast. I'm Dominic St-Pierre.
And I'm Morten.
And I should say you're listening or watching because we are trying something this week. Maybe trying to do video podcasting, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure it will work. I don't know. I thought it was going to be easy, like just upload an MP4 instead of an MP3, and I don't know. Seems to me that it should be that, but I don't know exactly how it will work. So we will see.
Yeah, try to figure it out.
Yeah. What's going on with you, Morten?
Well, I sold my soul to Bill Gates this week or last week, which hurts.
Welcome
but
aboard.
As some of the listeners might have heard on the last few episodes, my audio has not been amazing. Which is essentially comes down to the fact that I'm trying to make a Rode microphone sound good on Linux, and that has just been my huge issue. I think for 2 years now. So this weekend I wiped Linux off my laptop. I installed Microsoft and installed the Rode Central Manager hardware, and the sound is amazing. It's so good compared to how it used to be on Linux. I don't have to do any settings. I don't have to fiddle with easy effects. It's just the hardware or the software on the microphone is working. So that's probably been a big thing this week. But yeah, I have good sound now. I think that's my biggest takeaway.
Are you saying that? Well, when you say you wipe with Linux on your laptop, is it your work laptop? So are you like moving away from Linux in your day-to-day as well?
No.
Okay.
No. I didn't sell my soul that much. I only sold part of it.
Oh, no.
Only for the content creation.
Yeah.
But my laptop now has Microsoft 11 on it. And then my desktop is still fully Linux, where I'm running Omachi right now.
Yeah. That is my concern with trying Linux, because at some point, if I don't have audio, and you're talking about audio input, that's one thing. But for me, audio was always difficult on Linux and whatnot. And if I lose that, I just cannot do anything. So I am very, I don't know. It turned me off very, very much, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's sad because it's a great operating system. I was loving. I was looking at my channel the other day because I was preparing to post this podcast on my channel, and I was looking at old videos that I was doing. I don't know, 2014, 2015, and I was losing Arch with i3 and things like that. And I was like, wow, I'm missing that so much at the moment. My setup is not bad. It's not bad with WSL and the Windows terminal. It's way better than what it was, and I've learned all the shortcut keys. Of course I never use a mouse and whatnot, but it's not. I don't know. It's not like i3 or any tiling window manager and whatnot. So that was pretty good.
Yeah. So that's also another part that I had to figure out how to get how do I record or stream my Linux desktop and run everything through Windows? So I got a cheap capture card, so I can actually broadcast whatever I have on my Linux system to the world while still having proper audio and all of those kind of things. So that's nice, at least.
Okay, so the screen capture is coming from your desktop Linux, and the audio is coming from elsewhere. Wow.
Yeah. So the camera you're seeing right now is actually just coming directly through Microsoft, because that was another of my Linux issue, was that I bought an iPhone. And of course, that thing doesn't want to connect to Linux, right? So I had to, whenever I was streaming or creating videos, I had to go over Wi-Fi, and our Wi-Fi is not that stable. Whenever I plug in through the cable, it's perfect, it's fine. We have, I think, 600 megs down or something like that, and 300 up. So it's a decent connection. It just doesn't work well on on Wi-Fi, and now I can actually plug in and connect my iPhone directly through cable. So it's only my desktop that I will capture with the capture card, and then everything else goes through the Microsoft machine. This is turning out great. I had when I did my web development or full stack web development course for Golang, I spent so much time dealing with these things. It took me so long to create that course simply because of the fact that whenever I was coding, I was getting the raw input from the condenser mic. So, like a mouse moving upstairs or someone sneezing down the street will get caught in this microphone because it is very sensitive, and none of the software on the microphone was catching it right. So this is a whole new world for me, having decent or very good audio working out of the box. So that's nice, at least. They use the right tools for the job. That's probably the biggest takeaway from this little journey.
Sure. Sound for me. When I started the podcast, I don't know if we should keep talking about that because it has nothing to do with Go and whatnot. But I mean, it sound to me always like, and I started to follow this guy on YouTube. I think it was called like Audio Junkie or something like that. And the guy built a soundproof room. It was like, imagine I don't know, if a 4 by 4 feet by 4 with audio isolation and whatnot, and he was entering that room, well, quote unquote, with a computer in there, and the sound was crazy, and I was like, I need that. But yeah, of course, that way out of my league. I'm not a manual person, of course. So the cheapest that I could do was buying those, like you were saying at the beginning, because it's the first time that we are doing something visual. So you did not saw my setup. So just those are just blankets, and I have on my wall all around my office. I have those I don't know, let's say 2x2 audio. How they call that? Oh, audio. It's like a piece of wood with some, and I don't have the word in English. Whatever it is, it absorbed the reverberation and whatnot, and yeah, it's crazy. It makes a huge difference.
Yeah. I really want to build like a shed or something where I can proper do all of that, because my wife will not allow me to properly soundproof this apartment. It would also probably be a very expensive adventure to try and get these thin walls into something that is actually working for a studio. Yeah,
I'm lucky to have an external office, so that we homeschool our kids all their high school and all through high school and whatnot. So at some point I was in the house, and they were there, not very often, but when they were, I mean, I could not concentrate and whatnot. So yeah, I was lucky to build an external office. So I'm very quiet in here.
Nice.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about Go, I guess, and or some tech and whatnot. This last week was interesting for me. I'm near the how can I say that? I'm near the stage where I will be fully using all the features of StaticBackend in the product that I'm building, which I'm starting to feel more and more interested and confident about StaticBackend. I know I might have a kind of drop 2 or 3 weeks ago and whatnot, and it's interesting because now the last piece that I'm going to use is the all the real time communication. So between some user of a certain app, you could have like I don't know, collaboration or messaging between them and whatnot. So that's the last piece, and yeah, and that's nice because the thing that I used last week was the scheduled task. So StaticBackend has this feature where it's like you can think of it like cron in a sense, but you can run server-side function, or you can run some or just call some HTTP endpoint and whatnot and things like that. So basically running some background task on the server at a certain interval, and that was great. That was really great.
Nice.
Oh yeah, really. It's coming nicely. It's coming nicely. So let me give you a concrete example of what I did. So I have this CRM module in the SaaS that I'm building, and at some point I wanted to have like full text search for having a central search in the app. So there's a couple of person. We are now like 4 or 5 that are using the product now, which is coming like quote unquote nicely. It's not bad, but I wanted to backfill, if you will, all the contacts that were created in all the apps so far. So I took the CLI and I built a function to run once. So that function was executed with all the privileges. So what it means is that it can access all the accounts, if you will. So all the contacts from all the accounts, because I am the owner of this application in StaticBackend. So now I have a certain token that lets me do database operation on behalf of other user of that application, if you will. And that started to make a lot of sense. This feature is there for a long time, because let me back a little bit. The permission scheme of StaticBackend is by default, if you don't have any custom permission on the database table, if you will, the creator of the record has all obviously it can read and write. The same user in the same account as the creator can read, and every other authenticated user cannot do anything with that. And that started to make a lot of sense. And I know when I talked with the founder of Supabase at some point, they mentioned me that the permission scheme, or how I am handling permission, was pretty elegant. They do have a row-based permission as well on their Postgres. Supabase is mainly just something on top of Postgres. But I went one step further with something that is very, very similar to how Linux file system works, and yeah, that all started to make sense at some point, because now I was creating this function which ran as the root user, which bypass, if you will, those permission, because I needed to grab all the contacts for all the accounts, and now create the full text search index, which was pretty great to see run. So that was one feature that I use of StaticBackend last week, via the CLI. So all of this was done, without any GUI and anything like that. So I was able to deploy the function. So I run like backend function create, and now I pass the source, which is like a JavaScript file, because server-side function on StaticBackend run on a special runtime, like I was explaining, and I mean, yeah, it's just beautiful. And after that, I added a function which reacts to when someone creates or update or delete a contact in their account. And now this function is triggered anytime that is something that happens. So I can sync the full text search index. I mean, yeah, it's just exciting when you see all of this coming to life. I guess I don't know. I have a small regain of energy towards StaticBackend. This thing was great, and yeah, I'm just excited, I guess.
That's nice. And then how did it go with the client you onboarded?
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Yeah. They paid. That's already a good. Yeah. I remember when the Stripe confirmation entered, I was like, oh, I should post that on socials. But at some time I was like, oh. Anyways, no. Everybody is doing that. So, and I'm afraid that the next one will kind of be long to get. I don't know why exactly, but there's some other in the pipeline. It's not I don't know. Yeah, I'm just eager to reach, I don't know, like $100 or $500 in MRR and things like that. But I don't know. I don't know where it will be. But for that particular client, yeah, it was great. But they did not open the gate yet. So
Okay.
I asked them, you know what, because like I was saying, they are using this. I don't know how to call that. They don't handle shipping and creating the boxes and things like that. So it's a third party company that do that, and we we send them a, I don't know, like an Excel file with a zip file of all the PDF of the packing slip and whatnot. So that's pretty great. But yeah, I advised them to do a small test. So last week they had a, multiple $100s of orders, which was still, it's impressive when you are looking at someone that do have a huge audience.
Yeah.
So that person just went in a 3 or 5 minutes range. They posted a message and they delete the message, and within that window they got like $500 worth of orders. I was like blown away. It was like, imagine if you leave that message. So yeah, so it will be today as well. So today will be an interesting day because they are opening the gate. So
Nice.
they will receive between 0 and X amount of thousands orders, not
Nice.
money but orders. So yeah, so it will be a good first test for. I won't say scale because that's still nothing. I'm pretty sure that Go will handle that. No worries. But
Yeah.
it's all the small things. It's all the small things. So they received a couple of feedback and video. People had difficulties with creating an account during checkouts and whatnot. Typical user. Not technical user behavior, if I can say that. So
Yeah.
maybe the application is not that easy or that. So for example, someone just were in the checkout phase and they I don't know, they click somewhere in their phone, and now they are in a state where I did not really anticipated that someone would exit the checkout process and return that. So those small things that which I would call real production problem, real user production problem that you as a programmer, you don't really think about when you're building your application. So yeah, so this is where we are. I'm pretty confident today, but yeah, I'm very happy that I finally have a real customer, because my wife is using that. So she have this agency and whatnot, and they are processing not orders, because she's doing invoices and proposal and whatnot. So that's another part of the application, and yeah, this is working.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
This
It's
is
also like, it's also where you like, you need real users to test out things. So we love to do all these kind of blendings, right? And then some users say that like, this is broken, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I had my dad check out my checkout process for my course as well at one point, and he just couldn't go through it. I was like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean? You just click 3 buttons and then you're signed up. But it's also because you sit in this product for so long, right? So you know it by the back of your hand. So yeah, it's always it's always good to get those experiences in, because it always results in a better product at the end.
Yeah, and I think we don't really put enough efforts into the first onboarding process. I say we, I mean programmers that are building product, because this is where it's at. You will lose a lot of customers in the first. And I know that my product is not easy yet, for sure. I'm trying to, I have this floating button at the bottom right where they can click, and there's a contextual help, but nobody's going to click on that. So for me at the moment, I'm trying to focus on finding maybe ambassador is a weird word, but let's say other agencies that will want to deploy their clients on there, or want to build, for example, we have someone else in the pipeline, so it's a neuroscience, so something regarding when kids need to have paper to prove to the school that they need I mean, when we are not talking about tech, I have so much difficulties finding my words in English. But to determine if someone is dyslexic or autism and whatnot. So, anyways, so they are very interested because they need a phone, and I do have a phone system in that thing, and they need to send invoice, and now they are interested because now they would have the website there, the CRM there, so finding people that's have already a relationship with these small businesses will probably be easier than me trying to run after all of them without having any kind of relationship. So I've built like an affiliate program already in the app. So anytime that someone finds someone, they each time that their clients pay, they receive like 20% and whatnot. So that is something that I'm thinking that this could be something. So that's another channel. That's what I'm saying so far.
Nice.
So yeah, instead of me trying to to find all of the customers, I would love to give some money to some agency that already have connection with people in small businesses that would need such a product, because so far that's what we are hearing, the support that they are getting on platform like Squarespace and Wix and whatnot, is just not there. So
no.
So yeah, this is what I'm offering in Quebec as well, in French. So that to me is something I should have done like 20 years ago and whatnot. I've always like blocked myself because we are so small in here. But that's a niche. So that's a natural niche. In fact, so that I don't know. We will see where we are. So I have one paying customers at the moment. So
that's amazing.
Yeah,
that's the big step to get over, right? Like it might not sound like a lot, but it is it is a lot, So that's really cool, man. Congratulations on getting the first step on the road.
Yeah, hopefully they will still there next Monday, and the server will not explode today, because that was their concern. What if I have like 3,000 orders? I was like, well, that's not a problem. 50,
no,
200, 500,000, I would be extremely nervous, but 3,000, we are good.
But that's also like I've encountered it a lot of times when, like, talking to clients or stuff like that, like how do we deal with this? It's like, you're good, like it's fine, like you're not Facebook or something like that, and that's a good thing, because it allows us so many like lazy solutions in a way. Because I mean, first of all, we're using Go, it can handle a lot. If you spend like $1,000 on serverless or VPS or whatever, you're going to be smooth sailing until until you can hire a person to just fix the infrastructure, right?
Did you say 1,000 or 100?
Like $1,000, $1,000, and you are good for a long time, right? And in the grand scheme of things, for a lot of businesses, $1,000 in infrastructure is not.
Oh yeah, but yeah, even that you can scale a lot. So I don't have much redundancy at the moment. So this is one aspect. But as soon as I have, let's say, a couple of clients that would pay for that, so I would just bump a new server. So at the moment. What I like to do myself is, first I take a floating IP on DigitalOcean. So that's already saved me once. So what it means is that all my DNS binds to that IP. If anything is to happen to my server, I just provision a new server and boom, just move the floating IP and my digital server broke last summer, and I knew that because one customer called me because I'm hosting some old consulting customers on my droplet, and they called me and I was like, oh, I know,
That's the worst kind of calls.
yeah. Oh, thank you very much for notifying me, which I should have received a automatic notification. But so try to log into the server. Everything, nothing works on the UI. I don't recall exactly, but let's say that the button is like disabled. I cannot open the server. Tried to open a ticket, and I said, after 5 minutes, I said, screw that. I'm just taking the last backup or snapshot, whatever. I just boot a new droplet, and boom, I remapped the floating IP, and I was up. I called the customer and say, oh, I'm sorry, we are back. So all in all, about 10 minutes, top. But yeah, that is where I am at the moment. So I'm using the of course the managed database. And as soon as I'm starting to have some kind of revenue, I will just use a second, at least a second instance, so to have some kind of redundancy and whatnot.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of things.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was nice. StaticBackend is cool. I mean, this is great. And now the last piece will be the real-time component, which I'm going to use this week and next week during development. So
nice.
Yeah.
I actually have a bit of kudos. Is that the right word? Not cooties. Kudos. I don't know if that's the right way. Because last week we spoke about my telemetry setup, and you were like, "Dude, just use Postgres, right?" So I just use Postgres. So I like, thanks for reminding me that simplicity is often the way to go. So now I am actually storing node exporter metrics just in Postgres.
Nice.
And doing 24 hours retention window on everything. And it's only my stuff that's running on there right now, so it's not gonna explode, right? So I took your advice to heart and implemented it, and it took, I don't know, 30 minutes.
That's it. So have you used anything, or is the raw Postgres directly the?
It's just raw Postgres. Postgres, because
Nice.
Whenever this becomes quote unquote serious volume, I'm gonna do the ClickHouse database setup, right?
Oh yeah,
but also
I think that's a great decision that you took.
Yeah. Also, because I would really want to get, again, quote unquote, managed databases into the products. So this just allows me to push that decision away for a longer period of time.
Are you?
So
the managed database seems to be a huge. I mean, have you managed a lot of database so far? Because you need to have sharding at some point. There will be client that will want to have multiple read instance and a master write and things like that. It seems to be very involving. More than what it looks to me. I don't know.
Also, I think this is a product description step as well, because the plugin mainly aims towards startups and SMBs, right? So the scale of things shouldn't really reach that point where those things are necessary. So it's also not going to be managed. It's mainly getting the basics down to a secure server that is running on, getting backups and getting recovery in, and then getting like maintenance, and like those is the main things. And then I can start to play around with adding PG bouncer. I forgot the name. I was also researching how to do high availability. I could do that down the road, but the main thing was being like, here is a database server that is set up with backups, that you own, and you can always move if you get to the point, right? Because I think if you get to the point where the database gets so big that it becomes real in a sense, then I don't think you want to be on my product, at least not for now. That's not the aim. The aim is not to be able to have huge companies. It is aimed at a certain level of like you can run profitable business on top of the project. But if for like my guiding company thingy is always Laravel Forge, but Laravel Forge doesn't run on Laravel Forge, right? It runs on AWS infrastructure. So they also progressed towards that point to be able to offer this catalog of services that they have, because they also have like managed databases. They also have their own Laravel Forge databases, which basically comes from the fact that they have so many servers on AWS that they get special deals, right? This takes time. I'm pretty sure when Taylor Otwell did this in the beginning, they also did not have quote-unquote proper managed databases like they have now, right? So I have run my own databases for a long time. Right now I am on a managed database from DigitalOcean, predominantly for dealing with backups. But this is gonna be the next step, and then dog fooding all the way until that part is stable, but it's a little bit down the road. But it allows, like the whole change from just doing telemetry data in Postgres allows me to get to that point, and then of course open telemetry will have to wait a little bit. Maybe I could do that in Postgres as well, but because I have logs. And now I also have server observability, and that's kind of the two big things. I also introduced health checks, so I can do like continuously health checking. So most of the things you want in like a application platform as a service is there to ensure that your applications is running, that you ensure that it's deployed correctly, that what version is running. I can also do a little bit of latency calculations on the health check endpoints. It's not what you wanted, because you can't really debug, right? But at least you get a little bit of like, how long did this request actually take me? Again, then there is something with where in the world the customer server is and all of those kind of things, right? But the basics are there for like managing applications now, which is also really exciting.
Nice. So who's responsible to do this health check, for example? Is it like the agent that are installed on the servers?
No, there's two parts to this. The agent that's running on the server has his own health check that I'm also checking, and then the users are responsible of providing me with an application endpoint that they want to check for health.
Okay,
right?
so your service is going to pull that your URL and check for HTTP status, for example.
Yeah.
Okay.
So right now it's very, very naive implementation. It's literally just give me an endpoint, give me the HTTP method, and give me the expected response code. That's it. And of course that can be expanded upon. And another important note is deploy crate's own uptime monitoring is not done with deploy crate. That is done with uptime robot right now.
Okay.
So I don't do the GitHub trick of just reporting my own incidents. So everything is good, bro. Trust me. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So, but what about self-hosting users? Are you going to offer that as well for them?
What do you mean with self-hosting users?
Well, if I'm going to because from what I understood, it will be possible to use the product without a subscription, right? Or maybe I'm wrong there.
They will be able to. The agent that is running, they will be able to interact with that themselves. So,
okay.
So they will. So all the management part of the server, they would have to deal with themselves.
Okay.
and integrate with the endpoints. There is an open API spec. It has the basic endpoints of grabbing metrics, of checking for updates, of applying updates, self-upgrading, deploying, changing routes, like all of those, like deleting, start, stopping, restarting applications. All of that is integrated into the operator that's running on the server. So if they don't want to be on the platform anymore, they can just cancel their sub and then, integrate with the API themselves if they wanted to.
Yeah, I got it. So what would be the flow? Let's say I want to test your product. So I guess I open an account at your service, and I upload my SSH key, for example, and I say, those are my server's IP, and please do your magic.
I am not dealing with existing servers right now.
Okay.
So it's only new servers, and I want to get to a point where I can onboard existing servers. But I do, whenever I onboard a new server, I do a lot of configuration as well. So server hardening, changing ports, fail to ban, like all the basics is getting done, right? We also rely a lot on Caddy. We deal a lot with like the Caddy admin API. So when you onboard, you will get prompted to create a server. You will give me an API key to Hetzner or DigitalOcean. Currently, that's the only one on support. You will select the SSH port you want to open. It then goes in, configure the server, install the agent, and then you're basically ready to create applications. And right now, you can connect your GitHub account and pull binaries. You can also connect Docker Hub or DHCR and run stuff in Docker if you want to. I force currently that you have a staging and production environment, because the Heroku model was a lot of the inspiration for this as well. You then upload your environment variables that gets encrypted, and then you basically add server targets that you want to deploy this application to, and then you're off to the races.
Nice. Okay. So when you say binary, I guess it's after some kind of GitHub action would have run, build the application, and now tag your service, say, hey, this binary is here, or directly upload to your service? Yeah,
so currently it's done through webhooks, or it's not really webhooks, it's more like an API. So the way that deploy gets deployed is whenever I push to master, it triggers a new build, and then it releases a new asset, notifies deploy crate about a new release. It then pulls the binary onto the target servers. So I use blue, green, or zero downtime deployment for the staging and production environments. It will spin up the new binary on the server, verify that it's good, and then switch traffic in Caddy, and then you're good to go. So you can just point to whatever, like the environment you set up will have the details of where the artifact or the asset is. Pull it down on create like a link to download it, and right now it's like done through GitHub, right? But I also want to do Cloudflare and stuff like that. Download the link, send it to the operator downloads it. It creates a backup of the current running instance, spins up the new binary if you're using blue-green, it spins up in the other the not running slot, verifies that it's running, switch traffic, cleans up the binary, and if all of that fails, we spin down, and you will get a notification of the deployment failing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is Caddy already have something? When you say you seems to be mentioning that there has to slot what it means. So is it in Caddy world that I can either send the traffic to A or send the traffic to B? Is that...
Yeah, Caddy does load balancing as well. So it's just a weighted traffic right now. So you have like whenever you do zero downtime, you have blue green. So the one that is running is receiving all of the traffic, and then when the new one is running, it's just a call to the admin, the Caddy API that switches the traffic over. So the customer will be in charge of graceful shutdowns, right? So they will be in charge of of gracefully shutting down the services, and then whenever that is shut down, we switch the traffic over, right? And it's just a weighted traffic switch.
Okay, but for example, when I'm sending traffic in Caddy, I'm using their proxy thing, so I'm calling an IP address with a port. So what it means for you? So when you're deploying the green version, what it is exactly? Is it like a new port or?
Yeah. Let's just stick with blue-green. Whenever you create the application, I create two systemd services, and I'm a little bit trying to nail down the terminology, but it's like think of them as instances, and especially if you do binary, you need two ports, right? You need 8080, 8081, something like that. One of them gets spin up, validated that they're running, and then the traffic slot in Caddy gets switched to that address, and it is very low key. It's literally just what's it called, home port, like 127 blah 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 port.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That gets the traffic right, and then the other systemd service is just disabled, and then the switch will go through the process of spinning that up, validating that it's running, and then switching the traffic.
Nice.
And then you get all of that in the main application, so you can see like what routes has what ports. So it's literally self-updating binaries. It's the same thing with the operator that is running on the server, right? They self-update and then spin back and can kind of deal with it. Yeah.
So each time you're deploying, it's automatically knowing that, okay, my 8081 is running now, so the green will be 8080, and next time it will be the other way around. Is that it?
Yeah. So I just check which service is running, and we only have one service running at a time.
Oh yeah.
And then from that, you can also from the service name we know the port that is running, right? Because this is what the user will provide, and then it's their responsibility to have like either hard coded that port in the application or provide an env variable with that port, right? But if I say 8080 and 8081 for those two, then is what those two services will be listening on, and then I detect which one is running, switch the traffic to the one that's not running, validator is up, and then we are good to go.
Interesting. What about a system that needs to run any kind of commands before a deployment? And I think like Django, for example, or Rails, which will need to do any kind of DB migrate or whatever it is. So how would you do that in those cases?
I have not built in migration flows. If you take back to at least how I used to use Heroku, this was like you deploy, you release, like you need to figure out your own deployments, right?
Yeah.
So if they want to run migration up on whatever an app start, feel free. Whatever I do is always like apply the migration myself, safely release, and then make sure that whenever, like if it's something that could break, you have to do the migrations in steps to get into the state where I can migrate, release. So I will not be dealing with migration on behalf of the users.
No. Sure.
That is.
But I guess the user could have a bash script instead of having a binary in the systemd file, and now they could do what they want there, probably.
I probably will not allow them to. I mean, they could. It's their server. They can SSH in and do whatever they want to. Maybe that could also be part of it. A part of the process. I'm not against opening up for that if it's something that users want. But now we need to get the users on, right, and actually hear what they want. But it's definitely not without out of the question. I am exploring sidecar concept, which also goes into the database, so you can kind of like define a sidecar to your environment that is running, and then you could probably do something there in the deployment process. If we need this sidecar loaded with different kinds of things, then that becomes a possibility as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's getting to a stable point now. I opened up for alpha users on the website. People can go in and say, hey, I wanna test it out, at least apply to test it out. So I'm opening up for free uses of the product while it's still in alpha beta phase, where it's just you get the big plan and you can do whatever you want while it's still getting shaped. Yeah. So
Nice.
Also getting to an exciting place right now, but I also need to to get some users on the platform now.
Do you have an idea about any kind of pricing yet, or you're not really there at the moment?
I'm gonna do, I think, $5 for the hobby plan, 19 for the medium or professional, and then I can't remember what I called the big one, business, around 39. That includes X amount of servers, and then you get access to different levels. So in the small hobby plan, you will get access to only one team and one team member. You get access to a very limited data retention window, and then it basically just increases from there. And then you can add servers on for an extra cost. So I'm gonna be doing like you can do $5 and then $5 for next server, next server, next server. So that is kind of the pricing model right now, where I'm just putting it out there and then seeing if it sticks right. And then on the big plan, I'm kind of planning on doing cheaper extra servers if you need them. So you get like extra. I think it's like 6 servers right now you get on the big plan. But it is very much up in the air right now.
That's cool.
I think as what you said last week, it's not really about the money right now. It's more about getting feedback, right? Because I do think this is at least this is what I wanted to have for my own projects and my own small businesses to run on, where it's like it's really, really, really focused on running applications on a platform and getting the tools to monitor and track them, which is there right now. I still have some work to do around backups, applying upgrades and doing those kind of things right in a secure manner. But the core features is actually there now, so that is quite cool. So now it's like a lot of content and hopefully convincing some people to give it a go.
And how does the users consume these logs or the telemetry and whatnot? Do you have any kind of CLI, or it's all on the UI at the moment?
It's only on the UI right now. So for now, I just give people access to directly to the logs that is running on the server. So they like whenever is running in systemd, we can use journal.ctl, pull the logs from there, and then I showcase those in the UI. Right now is either just static or live pulling of the logs. I am gonna add something where you can add like duration or how long back you wanna look and those kind of things. But for the proper log setup, I would need probably the click-based telemetry data setup, so you can probably search them and count like errors and all of these kind of things. But for now, at least there is logs. And also those logs I don't limit because it's their server. It's just running on their server, right? It's only when we get to the proper telemetry setup where I will limit the time range that you could look into simply for data storage optimization, right? So you can just look at however long you want to look at your journal.ctl servers, right? Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's all UI and it's the bare bones. Is there secret management also, because the DHH and Basecamp did a tool as well for spinning up servers, where it's all in the CLI and I think that's.
Are you referring to Kamal, something like that?
It might be Kamal that they added the CLI. They updated this. He did a demo not too long ago, which was probably Kamal.
Okay.
Where again you provision a server, you deploy to it. and that is also like I think like a good model. But then you come over all the monitoring, the maintenance, the secrets, the rotation of secrets, and all of those kind of elements that are starting. That at some point you need to deal with, right? Yeah, that's
that's cool. That's shaping up.
It is shaping up, yeah. So there's also, I think now is getting more around the UI, which is nice to not have to the whole deploy the operator on servers and then monitoring and then like it's a lot of steps compared to just doing some UI work. So that's really cool.
Yeah. Feels like finishing touches and whatnot. I suppose.
Yeah.
All right. So Morten is looking for users. So if anyone wants to,
if you want to run your own servers without getting completely wrecked by the serverless builds, then it's another option in the space.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Have you heard of Zero Lang? So Shai posted that on the channel. Which, if you're not there, it's Go Podcast on the Gopher Slack. By the way, I was not aware of that, to be frank. And when I saw the post, I was like very curious. It seems to be a language for agents, which immediately when I read that in the Slack channel, I was like, oh no, we are there. I don't know. It feels very, very wrong. I don't know what they are doing. I think it's Vercel that are behind this, and I was oh, come on, man, let's go.
I did read about it.
Everyone is creating a language at the moment. We have enough of those. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it also feels a little bit like reading tea leaves. Like, what are you how would Vercel actually know what a language for agents should look like? Exactly. Does Anthropic know? Does OpenAI know? Does any of the Chinese model companies know? I don't know. I don't know. Why if this was a thing that would actually benefit, wouldn't why would the big why would Anthropic acquire?
Yeah, exactly.
It's.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. So I'm a little bit tired of this kind of marketing, to be frank. This noise around, I don't know, claiming things that makes no sense.
Yeah, it feels like it's just a big cash grab, and it's just different angles to get the cash grab. And I think the what we've seen also, one of the discussions in the Slack channel was the efficiency of something like Ruby on Rails. With these LLMs, right? But Ruby on Rails seems to be a very efficient language to use with LLMs. There's a lot of training data in the pre-training. There's a lot of data in the pre-training data set. It's very terse and efficient as it is. So do we need a new language? Are you actually going to benefit from it? I don't know.
But Ruby is so slow, man. I mean,
then again, that's another thing, right? It's very it's
so that, I mean, it might be quick to have your coding assistant write some code, but ouch, it's when you're deploying that, it's that and it seems to be well, at least for the two projects that I worked on, which are very, very light. They were old Ruby on Rails project, and you try to upgrade that from one version to the other, and wow, this seems to be pretty involving the update path.
Yeah, I think the main point was also around fine, they created a new language for agents, but it's not in the training data. It's not in the pre-training data. It's what I don't know. Do we need to wait 5 years for there's enough data? I have enough code in this language that is, I don't know.
What you don't know is that they will launch their own LLM in a couple of weeks, and they have the training data of their new language in there. That's the thing.
Yeah, But
Wow.
I think we get to the point where it's all circular, like the AI poisoning themselves, because if the LLMs is just generating based on what is already out there, then we don't get, it's just a repetitive cycle. So if it's LLMs that generates the zero-line code that then gets used to train on, maybe it works, but I'm not too hopeful on that part of the the LLM setup.
No. Yeah, totally. But yeah,
But
it was.
sorry,
Go ahead.
go.
No. Was it,
Yeah, I was just saying, like I did because we also had a talk about trying out Ruby on Rails with LLMs, and I did do it, and
yeah.
it generated a lot of code and it works, but
But there's so many conventions. I don't. I'm not surprised. I mean, it's you use the tooling, you use what everyone else is using, so the standard are pretty strong in there. So I'm not surprised that you can. But writing the code is not very long as well. So I mean, it's normal that the agent do it quick. It always was quick to create a Ruby on Rails application.
Yeah.
Even when we were writing code before,
writing code by hand.
These days, these old days.
And also, like the more sites I build, the thing I always run up against is my own design skills. Like I'm trying to create a landing page for deploy create, and it's just so simple because I don't know. I'm trying to make it look pretty and nice, but that is like you. Then for like the Ruby on Rails, I was doing it for my consultancy side. And it looked like crap. Like, here's a picture, recreate this. It looked like crap. And then I know, like, Anthropic has like Claude Design and whatever, right? But my problem is not writing the code. That is like, it's like making it look good. That's always where I'm struggling, because I'm more focused on the backend and the systems and the infra than I am on the actual front end code. And I maybe they do a good job with React. I've heard they do a lot of good jobs with React, but yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, I did not want to touch the UI, so yeah, I'm using that for the UI. It's good. I mean, it uses Tailwind. It seems to be at least for the kind of people that I'm targeting myself. They find it okay, I guess. But
yeah.
But again, it depends. I never use it to create a marketing site, so I don't know. I would guess they are look the same at some point and whatnot. I'm not I never use that to create HTML like that for marketing website.
I mean, the first version I did of Deploy Create was I just need a landing page. So that was, I think, with Claude, and it has the typical purple gradient look all over, and it was so clear that this was like we need to move kind of site. So I got all of that pulled out now, at least. So that's something, but I do think they do like those old like Tailwind 3 or 2 version, because like one of the Tailwind site was really huge on this purple color and purple gradient color that all the LLMs now use with when you just give it like quote unquote vanilla. That sounds wrong to say, but vanilla Tailwind, right? It always used these gradients because that was what it was taught.
Yeah.
Oh
well, at least you don't have to do it.
No.
But yeah, again, yeah. I was lucky with the product I'm building. I bought the UI at some point because the product was existing. It was on the community. I talked about that community a lot, multiple times in this podcast. So. Someone had a product that because at first this product was in the customer communication space, think like intercom or user list and things like that. It was I pivoted from there, but I kept the UI. So far it's good. Was created by a human. Still, feel a little bit dated. It seems, but yeah, I think it's good for now.
Yeah. I also think like the value always comes first in these things, like the positioning and the value. It can still look like if people are still using Amazon, right? And that doesn't look
Yeah.
that doesn't look good, right? I think that's the classical example of build something that provides value, and you can skimp on the design for some time as long as it's sort of intuitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was like with deploy crate. I had a friend try and sign up for it, and he didn't understand it because I used terminology that he didn't equate with what. Like he was expecting something like render or Railsway or something like that, and he was like, "What is what were you using at that time? What is an deployable artifact?" Now, was it? No, I can't remember. I used a lot of words where I was like, this makes a lot of sense to me, but it didn't make sense to anyone else, right? So yeah, positioning, wording,
messaging,
simple things. And that's also one of the things I've been working on, is trying to move away from the self-hosting positioning, because that's not really what it should be. It should be like infrastructure, an infrastructure product. But if you use a lot of like self-host in the that's what people are like, why shouldn't I just use Coolify then? Because it's for free and I can actually self-host it, right? So it's a little bit like getting it into the right wording and mindset so that it instantly makes sense. So you have, 1.4 seconds or something to convey your message to new users on the site before they bounce. So
that's not a long time. Yeah, well, this is hard, but yeah, again, this is something that that can be tweaked for sure. At least you got some feedback.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Cool, Morten. I think we're good. So that was a video version. Hopefully, it will work. I don't know. Fingers crossed.
I mean, you can always like fiddle a little bit with the files to make it work.
Yeah, of course. Worst case, I will extract the MP3 and we will see.
All right.
But, all right. So cool. We'll talk next week, and hopefully, by then, I will still have my paying customer.
yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. All right.
See you. Bye bye.